Hot flashes, irritability, intimate dryness, even unsatisfying sex. Hi, I'm Dr. Alyssa Dweck, a board-certified OBGYN who has spent over 20 years helping women just like you safely find relief from these very natural symptoms without having to resort to hormones. To help my patients feel their best, I recommend products from Bonafide Health. Bonafide is a women's health company dedicated to providing women with non-hormonal and clinically validated products that work. Bonafide provides safe and effective solutions to manage a range of menopausal, sexual health, and PMS-related symptoms. That's why I recommend Bonafide products to my patients every day. In fact, I am also a Bonafide medical advisor. What I like most is that Bonafide products provide women real relief without compromise. Ladies, don't waste another minute feeling less than your best. Go to hellobonafide.com and use code radio39 to save 20%. That's hellobonafide.com and code radio39.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Offer valid on subscription only.
Hey, Cousin Sal here, bringing you an exclusive FanDuel Sportsbook offer for the big game. All new users are getting an exclusive 55-1 odds boost on either team to win the big game. Max bet $5. That means you could turn a $5 bet into $275 if your pick wins. Sign up today at FanDuel.com/Sal.
21 plus and present in New Jersey. New users only. Must wager on designated boost market. $10 first deposit required. Max bonus $275. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Our business needs vans, lots of vans, and Europcar meets our day-to-day needs all across the country, providing our company with the ideal selection of small, medium or large vans and trucks, and even bespoke commercial vehicles delivered directly to our premises.
From our 22 nationwide locations, Europcar supplies Irish businesses with an unrivaled range of vans, 4x4 pickups, 4-seater commercial SUVs and double cab tippers. With 9,000 vehicles in our fleet, there's no demand we can't fulfill. Europcar, moving your way.
After a great start to the Euro 2020 qualifiers, the Republic of Ireland look to continue their 100% home record as they take on Switzerland on Thursday, September 5th at Aviva Stadium. Then on Tuesday, September 10th, we go again at Aviva for the 3 international friendly versus Bulgaria. Kick-off for both games 7:45. Show your support for the boys in green this September. Tickets on sale now starting at €20 from fai.ie/tickets. Booking fee applies.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Sport G, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
Welcome to Sport G number... What number is this? It is 137. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm the Iceman. And now we're going to begin our wall-to-wall coverage of the Women's World Cup. No, wait, no, we're not. Because it's women's soccer. Nobody cares.
But we do have a new Stanley Cup champion, first time in the history of their franchise.
St. Louis Blues.
The Bruins got their battleship Tarasenko'd.
Yes. But dude, they were a punchline on this program as first-round fodder. Not anymore.
Well, I do have to say, I did say few months ago that I thought the Cup winner was coming out of the West, and it was going to be either San Jose or the Blues. I believe I said that after the first round. So I'm not saying I'm ice. I iced it, but I'm just saying, for as little as I am able to watch the entire NHL, I still know a little bit about the league. So.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. The Blues were in last place in the overall league in January.
Oh, they came back like a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, they fired their coach. They got an interim coach, put a fucking rookie in goal. A rookie. He made his start January 7th. That was his very first NHL start of this year.
I can say this about Binnington, man. That guy... in the playoffs, especially in the finals, was either on top of his game or letting everything go by him. It seems like he has no middle ground, or he had no middle ground in his finals. But he got the job done.
Game 7 was he was all over his game because they shot from everywhere.
He got the job done. That's all that matters.
Yeah, he's hoisting the cup. He did what he was supposed to do.
JB had 32 saves on 33 shots. And the only goal they scored with 3 minutes left in the game when they pulled the goalie. And it was a 6-on-5.
Damn.
And it was, and like 12 people out there. And Jordan couldn't find the fucking puck when it was shot from the blue line and went over his right shoulder.
I mean, I know it sounds petty, but hey, Boston, ha ha ha, you don't get to win this title. You got enough.
Oh boy, this finals has given us so many cell phone videos of Boston fans beating the shit out of each other drunk in the stands.
Is that what you're gonna miss?
Good Lord, there was one where one guy started talking to another guy and
they're both named Sully.
Next thing you know, they're standing up, and one guy's like, "Yo, yeah, you're scary, bro. You're scary." And then the guy gets a beer tossed on him, and then he starts pounding on one guy. The guy puts him in an arm bar while he's like laying on top of 4 people, and then his buddy is like standing on the stairs, and some guy comes running up from like 3 rows forward. I don't even know if he knew the 2 guys that got into a fight and just starts swinging at him. And
his name is also Sully.
Get off my boy!
It's crazy. And like in that particular video, like 3 of the guys involved in the fights were wearing Sweeney jerseys, and and then there was the fight where someone almost got thrown over the rail or knocked over the rail, which would have been, manslaughter. At least if he'd actually went over and landed on his head. Oh yeah, it's stay classy, Boston. Seriously, I thought Philly fans lost their fucking mind.
I was just gonna say, who do you think's got the worst sports fans, Philly or Boston? Philly. There isn't a jail at any of the Boston stadiums.
There might be next season after the shit I saw.
They put a holding cell in Gillette.
But yeah, it's good day to be a St. Louis
I gotta
Blues
say
fan.
this, Rich. I gotta say this. The NHL needs to get better people to interview the players.
Well, they need to raise their goddamn profile. The fact that Rich couldn't find or listen to the final anywhere is ridiculous. I mean,
Rich, do you know who was interviewing the players at the end of the game?
No.
Jeremy Roenick.
Roenick takes a beating from a lot of NHL fans for his poor desk skills, talking head skills.
Well, it's not just that. It's like you're out there. You don't even know what these guys are feeling right now, JR. You've never.
That's a shot from the Iceman.
It's because I'm pissed at him because he had my fucking goalie forever. Still couldn't get it done.
Well, there's other players, but Brett Hall was too busy being Brett Hall.
Being hammered. Hammered. Do you think he knows anything he said during that speech?
Probably not.
No. Probably saw it the next morning. Oh, that's what I said.
There was a shot of him. Someone took a picture of him, and he was rubbing his nipples, like Austin Powers style, after they won. So it's like, who knows? Fucking. Obviously, they didn't cut him off after the second period.
Oh no. But too in St. Louis, he's a god, right? I mean, yeah, he came here and he won a couple cups, but I mean, that's for when I was a kid, he was the man in St. Louis. It's probably so he probably has his own tap in the dressing room.
Probably he was the man so much that even when they had Gretzky played second fiddle to him. So yeah, but
Brett Hall has a cup or 2.
Yeah, he's got one with Dallas, one with Detroit.
Just saying.
But yeah, I'm gonna say that good for the Blues. Boston, you've won enough. Sorry. I don't really feel bad for you for losing. I mean, I don't hate Boston like they're Colorado, and I don't hate them like I don't hate anyone on Boston like I do, Mrs. Crosby over there on the Penguins. But yeah, this is, I don't know if it's good for the NHL, but it's not good to have a handful of teams just passing the cup around like a party joint.
No.
You got to have someone new get in there, get some fresh blood in there. And this was a team,
the NBA.
This is a team that Earl already sketched out their season. They come from the bottom and went boom straight to the top. If that ain't a fucking Cinderella story, a rags to riches story that they can do something with, if the NHL has half a brain, I don't know what is.
Oh, can we give them a little bit of shit? Because allegedly their rallying song since January, I am not making this up, has been Glory by Brannigan.
That's not allegedly. That is their.
Why?
Gloria.
Why? Who? What? I don't understand it. Just someone had bad taste in music in the locker room, and they all just wrote it.
Hey man, they're
Stanley Cup champions. Give me that song.
There was what? Hey Hey Hockey Town. I Want Stanley. There was we actually had local bands making horrible music for the Red Wings when they were going on their fucking run. So
a remix to Eminem's song.
Both songs still better than Gloria. Just saying. I don't know. To me, it's just such a throwaway, cheesy '80s pop song. It's such a non sequitur for a sports team. It just.
Well, they can't use what the Red Sox use. They can't use "Dirty Water."
That song's actually about Boston.
Yeah, but they can't use "Shipping Out to Boston" by the Dropkick Murphys because that's used by every other Boston fucking team. They had to come up with something. I don't know the connection. I'm not even going to front and act like I do. I don't know why that song is their rallied song. Maybe because some of them Canadians on the team didn't hear Gloria. They heard Glory, and they just thought she was like, adding a little emphasis on the end of it. And so hey, she's singing about Glory. No, she's singing about Gloria. Did you not hear it? But, I mean,
it worked for them. They won the cup, so.
Yeah, stupid song or not.
That's what I said. They're Stanley Cup champions. Give me that song.
I can logically come up with is maybe it was like a sports superstition thing. Like maybe it was a song that they played in the locker room the night they started their run, but I don't know.
I mean, you know why the Florida Panthers threw rubber rats on the ice, right? I don't think they do it anymore, but they used to. You ever hear that story?
No.
Rat in the yep.
Yeah, a rat in the locker room, and one of the players basically wound up and took a slap shot, sent him across the room, splattered him against the wall. And so that story got out through a beat reporter, and the rubber rats being thrown on the ice is their version of the octopus being thrown on the ice, which is funny because you talk to people outside of Detroit, unless they're, really dedicated hockey fans, they have no idea why an octopus. And you got to explain to them that, well, back in the day, there was only 6 teams, and you only needed to win 8 games to get the cup. So there's 8 legs on an octopus. I think you can extrapolate why from there. If not, I can't help you. I can only the horse to water. I can't make you drink.
Dude, you pretty much sketched it out on the blackboard for them. They can't do it from there. Yeah, you're right. We can't help them.
But I will say that I think this final, and more so the entire playoffs, is going to be remembered by everyone but St. Louis Blues fans as the worst officiated playoffs in recent memory.
Yeah, I was listening to a sports podcast, and they were talking about that Game 5, that blown penalty in Game 5 is probably what is going to have costed Boston the series.
Well, I mean, there was plenty of missed calls and calls that went Boston's way before that, it's just this officiating. They have to do something. They have to. The NHL has to lock this down. They are not the NFL. They can't afford to bring in fucking college fucking, linesmen and officiating. They can't afford the bullshit the NHL or the NFL pulled. They have to. I don't know what they're gonna.
Yeah, you're right, because how pissed are you if you're a San Jose Sharks fan? You're
pissed.
Yeah. Your cup got stolen from you, essentially.
Well, I will say this: there's always bitching and complaining about the officiating in the playoffs, but oh my God, everybody, every single fan of every single team I've seen online bitching so far these playoffs, saying it's all a conspiracy. The NHL wants the team that their team is playing to win. And I'm like, okay, well, there's 16 teams in the playoffs. One of them won the cup. So you can't claim that every fucking single team that a call went against or a call was missed, the NHL had a conspiracy to make the other team win the cup. Because you can't have 16 cup winners.
Here's the funny thing in this whole thing. Game 7, there was one penalty. One. And it was because St. Louis threw it over the boards without, delay
game penalty, yeah.
That's it. That's the only penalty.
Well, it's because they treated Game 7 like a overtime in the playoffs. Unless it's blatant, let them play.
Yeah, let them decide who wins this.
Which I find it ironic we're having this conversation right now, because I remember back right at the beginning of at least in the first round, Rich, you were talking about how it was great that the refs were letting them play. And then apparently after that, all went to shit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. People are you now have 15 years since the mid 2000s lockout of the NHL calling the sport like they do. And when it gets to the playoffs and they start letting the players decide the game instead of, a power play every other fucking, 3-4 minutes, a lot of these fans who, just to be honest with you, are young, because I'm talking about the fans on social media. I'm not talking about the fans that, are our age that I run into and start talking about the game, because we all sit and bemoan how pussy the fucking league's gotten and talk about the glory days when, if you didn't win the game, you won the fights. And you could point to the ice where the blood was from the other team and go, see, we won that fight.
Hey, Rich, also, St. Louis and Boston are not the only two, but both of the teams didn't have one fight the whole playoffs.
That's amazing with Boston having Marchand on their team, because he's a fucking... I thought Sean Avery was a pest. Marchand is... Remember he licked someone in the playoffs last year?
Yeah.
If seriously. You ever get a chance, dude, you have got to see the look on Marchand's face at the end of the first period of this game.
Oh, someone got a screenshot of him crying when they lost.
Oh, yeah, but I'm talking the first period of this game. It was 2-0. And the look on his face was, what the fuck happened? How?
Well, I will say this. Yesterday, there was a story on... I don't know. It could have been NHL.com. It could have been ESPN.com. I don't know. It was one of the sites. It was a major sports site. It wasn't like some, bullshit, fly-by-night one. And they had interviewed the head coach of the Blues, and he's like, we're very comfortable on the road. I couldn't ask for us to go into this situation any looser than we're going to go in. And then apparently they asked O'Reilly when they were interviewing him post-game. They said, when did you know you had this wrapped up? And he said, when we scored our first goal, we knew it then. This was ours. So that's just a team that's just confident in the most hostile situation, Game 7, Stanley Cup final, in someone else's fucking shed.
But didn't the finals, at least in the finals, wasn't the road team favored? Didn't the road teams win all the games in the finals?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's not the NBA. You know, the NBA, they say it's not a series until the home team loses. They tried to pimp that shit for a little bit with the NHL there for a while, but you know, it's the NHL, man. Momentum is a motherfucker. You know, it's just like football. If you got a defense that's going out there shutting down the other team's offense, they can't run the ball but maybe 1 or 2 yards. They can't even complete a fucking, you know, an underneath pass, a bubble pass, or, you know, screen pass, something. They're throwing everything out there and they're just getting stuffed. That's just going to shut them down. That's going to pump up the offense. And then especially if once the team's got the lead, they can play the game they want to play. When you're coming from behind, you're playing from behind, you have to take chances. The defense has to pinch in. That gives you chances to, you know, for breakaways, odd man rushes. You know, once you have the lead, you can dictate how you're going to play the game. The other team can't. I mean, they pulled the goalie with 3 minutes left in this game? Boston did?
Yeah.
It was like 5 minutes left in the game when St. Louis pulled their goalie at one of these games of this finals. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's unfucking heard of, man. To pull a goalie with, I don't give a fuck how far down you are. That's like some ECH, you know, like East Coast Hockey League shit. You know, that's minor league shit.
St. Louis Blues is the 4th straight team to win the Cup on the road. So for the past 3 years, the Cup has been won on the road.
There you go.
Yeah, we all remember last year, Ovechkin running out to Vegas.
Everybody remembers Ovechkin because he didn't stop partying for the next 48 hours.
Except for Ovechkin.
Yeah,
except for him.
He had to watch the news to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, he basically hopped on every social media account and looked for him being tagged in post, and that's the only way he can remember the 48 hours after winning the Cup.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it looks like I had a good time. I don't remember, but it sure looks like I had a good time.
My wife was watching this Game 7, and she goes, I don't know that much about hockey. And I go, well, what do you want to know? And she looked, she goes, well, Jesus Christ, are all of them missing T? And I said, not for good.
It does come with the territory. You play long enough, you'll catch a burnt biscuit in the mouth. But yeah, ultimately, what I'm taking away from this and what I'm waiting to see happen, because I got a bad feeling that the NHL is going to, in the off season, I don't think this is necessarily going to be like a press release, but who knows in this day and age? I mean, you can't really keep a secret in the days, this day and age of everybody has a news studio in their pocket on their phone and Twitter or some form of social media so they can leak shit to people. I think the NHL, their answer to how the playoffs were called this year is they're going to crack down and basically tell the officials, call everything, turn the NHL into the NBA, call everything. I think this was, even though Penguins weren't in it, Crosby wasn't there, didn't have his PR team speaking for him so he can seem like he's not crybaby Crosby. I think this was the best example of his PR team when they, what was it, a couple of years ago, said there needs to be in the NHL, like there is in the NBA, a set of rules for superstars and a set of rules for everybody else. I think we just saw the catalyst that's going to kick that off with this year's playoffs. I won't know until next year, but because you can't really tell anything about a regular season. You really can't. And I mean, the NHL is notorious for starting off in the preseason and the regular season calling games one way, and then, a month or two into the season, it's back to the problematic way that they call the games that, the new hockey fans, how, they don't like it. Oh, there's too much clutching and grabbing and interference, and they're getting away with cheap shots and blah, 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 blah. And okay, whatever. I don't know. We'll see. I don't hold out much hope that I think this is going to be, if you like balls to the wall hockey, you like hockey that isn't dictated by power plays and special teams, this might have been your swan song. So, I mean, probably the only time you won't see it if it's a playoff game and it goes into overtime. But I mean, I do remember a couple, the last 10 years, a couple games that went into overtime, and I'm seeing 5-on-3s, and I'm like, did someone literally try to cut someone's throat with their skate? That's the only way that there would ever be a 5-on-3 ever in the NHL in a playoff game in overtime.
Right.
And that's that's a problem. It's like Todd said on the debate baseball podcast, or the Do Baseball podcast. Excuse me. You can't have one group of officials and another group of officials calling games completely different. In baseball it's a little bit different because the umpires rotate the positions. Just because you're behind home plate for game one of a series doesn't mean that you're going to be behind home plate for game two. You're going to be at first, or you're going to be at second or third, or wherever the fuck. But I mean, most of these crews work together, and they pretty much stick together, unless they've changed it completely, and I just haven't heard about it. And you can't have two crews calling, games completely different. There has to be consistency. And I think if we've learned anything in sports these days is that they rather clamp down and be consistent that way than let them guys play. Let the players decide who wins. So,
God forbid, let the players decide.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net.
Bosch Home Appliances offer the easy way to perfect results. Our Bosch Autopilot ovens with preset recipes make family favourites a perfect success every time. Upgrade to PyroClean for the ultimate convenience. Or the Bosch IDOS self-dosing washing machines. Save up to 38% on detergent with one fill for 20 washes. With Which award-winning products and reliable local service teams, it's no surprise Bosch is Europe's #1 major appliance brand. Check out the full Bosch range in-store or at euronics.ie.
The Jaguar I-Pace is setting the pace for electric vehicles. Winner of the 2019 World Car of the Year, World Green Car of the Year and World Car Design of the Year. To celebrate this treble win, we're offering €3,000 off all Jaguar models, plus a free 3-year service plan. Set the pace. Book your test drive today at Conlon's Jaguar Nace. Offer available until the 31st of August.
SuperValue online shopping delivers convenience. And now with €15 off your first online shop over €75, we deliver value too. Order before 12 noon and you can get your shopping delivered the very same day. Shop online now at supervalue.ie. It's got to be SuperValue.
ChristopherMedia.net. Sporgy.
One of the other things, Rich, that I was cracking up about is when they brought out the Stanley Cup, the guys that bring it out to set it on the stand are wearing white gloves. And I told my wife, I'm like, that cracks me up that they bring them out in white gloves. She goes, why? It's like, watch what's about to happen to this cup.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've always done that. I mean, in my lifetime, as far back as I can remember, because it depends on who you ask. There's some people who say that if you haven't won the cup, you're not supposed to come into contact with the cup. But then I have one friend in particular who actually got a chance to, go up to the cup, and he, grabbed the motherfucker, gave it a kiss like he had fucking just won it and shit, and Some of his more traditional hockey friends are like, you don't do that unless you fucking won it. The fuck? And he's like, the fuck you, dude. When am I ever going to get a chance to grab the Stanley Cup ever again? So it's just superstition, tradition, whatever.
It just cracked me up because soon as the commissioner let it go, she's like, oh, I'm like, yeah. Kissing and hugging and hoisting and touching and passing.
Well, there's somewhere, it might be online somewhere. I don't think it's on YouTube. I can't remember where. I watched it online. It's a documentary about the adventures of the Stanley Cup after it's been won in the off season, and because I think every player gets 2 days with the cup or a day with the cup or something, and there were stories of it getting left at a strip club after the Rangers won it in New York. Then it got left at the bottom of a pool after Dallas won it.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think somebody's fucked that thing.
I wouldn't be shocked if there was a sex act performed with the Stanley Cup involved somehow. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked. So yeah, and apparently there was. It might have been the Red Wings. A lot of the European-born players pooled their days for the cups together so they could take it over there and just keep it for a week or so. And it's like the lost week of the Stanley Cup because, it was behind the Iron Curtain there. So
it went to Amsterdam. It got a hooker.
It's been through some shit.
Stanley Cup has partied and has more lives than Keith Richards,
That's true. I wonder if that thing could talk, the shit that thing has seen.
Can you imagine if someone put a GoPro camera in there? Hid one in there, a hidden camera? That'd be the end of a lot of guys' careers.
Yeah.
That'd be the end of a lot of people's lives, man, I'm sure.
I mean, I forget the player that I think he plays for the Capitals, but he got filmed at a party, and he was at a party and a table that was like, the lines of powder weren't lined up in front of him, but he was sitting like at or near a table where there were lines of powder. And, he had to give an official apology and all this shit. And if I didn't do anything, I'd be like, give me a fucking drug test and fuck you. I ain't apologizing for shit. I can't help what other people fucking do. It's not... What the fuck am I supposed to do? Oh, I'm an NHL player. You can't do that around me. Fuck you.
What was his apology? I'm sorry I was at a party where people were having fun.
The old Doug Stanhope line. They're going to start piss testing for adrenaline at the workplace. Yeah. Hey, your urine looks a little cloudy. You been having fun on the weekends?
Yeah.
Are we not enough for you here at the Verizon Wireless family?
Yes.
So, but yeah, overall, as a hockey fan, the games I could watch, they were entertaining. It was very entertaining not having, once again, a dog in this hunt and listening to the fans bitch and complain about how the NHL is out to screw over whatever team they're rooting for and it's a conspiracy for whatever team their team is playing to win.
Yeah, I just think that might be a function of our new society that always needs a scapegoat. Always needs.
Yeah, it's not that we suck; it's that everybody's out to get us.
Yeah, we didn't lose. The refs. It's a conspiracy against us. No, you lost. Your team was not better than the other team. It's called sports.
Well, I do know that there was a person online that shall remain nameless back in 2009 when the Penguins and the Red Wings were playing for the second year in a row for the Cup. And he made it very personal. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't attack the Red Wings when the Penguins won a game. He attacked me when the Penguins won a game. And I was still young and dumb and still full of cum, so I fucking gave it back to him. And when the Penguins ultimately won the series, I tried to do what a good fan does. I said, "Hey, look, man, no hard feelings. It was all in good fun. Congratulations, your team won." And he come back with just fucking 4 paragraphs just attacking me personally. And I was like, wow. Is this the new fanhood? You know what I'm saying? Like you can't even be a gracious winner. You can't take a compliment and an attaboy, a gold star for doing what you're supposed to do. And I'm seeing a lot of that on the on social media, that the usual places I haunt, the hockey pages and stuff I go to. Bruins fans going, hey, congratulations to the St. Louis fans, and St. Louis fans coming in going, no, fuck you. You talk shit for fucking 7 games. You think we're letting you off the hook? It's like, dude, that's what you're supposed to do. You're a fan, One of my closest friends at work, he's a State fan. I'm a Michigan fan. We talk shit constantly. But when the game's done and over with, it's like, it's done, it's over with. It's nothing personal. We're not like, you want to step outside and figure this out?
Yeah, but at the same time, Rich, there are some times where it could happen that an official gets bought.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with fans being assholes.
Oh, no. But it does at the same time, because if, the Saints on the pass interference call, or even in hockey with the penalty that they miss, that's obvious.
Yeah, the hand pass.
Yeah, just 100%, you can't not see it.
Well, that's what I said, that the NHL is going to, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'd put a decent chunk of money on it. The NHL is going to fucking come down hard and change some rules to where that won't happen again the way it happened. I can't see them not doing that. They don't have the carte blanche, and they don't have the fan equity that the NBA and the NFL and Major League Baseball have. They can't just let shit like that slide and just go shrug and go, what are you going to do? Especially Bettman. Bettman's so fucking worried about the sport looking as pristine as possible. And oh my God, I don't even want to get into it too deep. I'm just going to say this. The articles I've seen from these sissy ass fucking sports writers about how violent hockey is, and there's no reason for fighting in hockey, and the international game doesn't allow it, and it's such a better game. Then it's like, shut the fuck up, stop covering the NHL, and take your ass over and watch fucking international hockey then.
Right. O'Reilly is in shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops walking the cup around the ice. Drinking a Bud Light. Come on.
Telling you, man, hockey players are a different breed. A little bit special. Take that as you will.
Be more Midwest.
Well, anyways, I mean, there's not much left to say.
Well, I wanted to ask this. Switch to the other team real quick. You think this is it for Chara?
He might have one more. I doubt it, but he might.
I'm going to say this. If it is, it has nothing to do with his jaw. Because there's going to be people that go, oh, it's because he broke his jaw. No, that's a broken jaw ain't shit to it. I mean, it's bad, but it's not shit to a hockey player. If he was 24 and he broke his jaw, he'd have done the same thing that he did at the age he is now, and he'd be back next season. There's been players that have played with broken jaws that are a week or even less removed from surgery of getting a steel plate put in their jaw. And they're playing, and they're out there
looking at you.
Yeah, they're out there with the fishbowl on their face playing the game. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know how he is physically. I mean, I imagine a guy his size, he's lucky he plays hockey like Yzerman was. Yzerman's knees were bone on bone for the last 3 years of his career. And they flat out, the doctors told him, if you played any other sport but hockey where you had to run, you'd have been done probably about 5 years ago. Hockey, you skate, and yeah, that's rough on your knees, but it's not the impact of running. So, I mean, if his knees are good, if his back is good, and I mean, hockey players, fucking, they live forever, man. Jesus fucking Christ. Ted Lindsay was like, what, 90-something? And he still had a locker at Joe Louis Arena and would go out and play pickup games with the guys that are on the team now.
Wasn't Jágr on a pro team until last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, 45.
Fucking Gordie Howe played in 5 decades. Think about that. He played professional hockey in 5 decades. Chelios was like 47, 48 when he retired.
I forget, did Gordie Howe, something in my memory says, didn't he do a cup of coffee with the Detroit Vipers just so he could say he played in the 90s?
Yeah. Yeah, he went
Yes,
on.
he did.
He went on, had a shift, and basically went out there playing like Gordie Howe, and all those young players were like, get the fuck away from him and his elbows.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, because the joke was, you don't want to be the person to hurt Gordie Howe. And then Gordie Howe went out there and was like, no, you don't want to be the young buck that gets hurt by Gordie Howe. You know, if you ever, I hear this all the time from younger hockey fans about how the old timers, they couldn't hang with the game. They didn't have the physicality, the build. Do yourself a favor. Look up on Google, Gordie Howe fishing. It's a picture of him on a fishing boat with his shirt off. And the dude looks like fucking a smaller version of Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. I'm not joking. And that's not that bullshit fucking pumped up Nautilus, possibly fucking steroids muscle. That's that farm boy, country strong, fuck you up muscle. All right? And no body fat on that motherfucker. None whatsoever. Dude, when you are fucking, 5'8", 5'9", and you're coming in at 225 and you're built like that, that's solid muscle. That is a bowling ball skating around. That is a brick wall skating around getting ready to hit you. So, but I don't know. Chara is one of those weird players. I remember when he got drafted by the Islanders, and he was on the cover of the Hockey News, and it was just fucking, I was like 6'9" in bare feet. Like, this motherfucker's going to be 7 foot tall on skates almost. Like, this shit is fucking crazy. And I was like, I like Shaq. Shaq's body broke down quick. I mean, he kept playing long after he should have stopped. He was out there lumbering around looking like Godzilla with Ben Gay on his fucking knees and shit,
Here comes Shaq. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Cross-eyed fuck, you know what I'm saying? So, but I don't know, man. I wouldn't be shocked if he gives it one more shot. And also, it really depends. What's Boston going to do? I mean,
not just that. What else has he got to prove?
Absolutely nothing.
No, he already got the cup in 08.
Yeah, but I just wonder if getting this close to another one, going to a Game 7, if it just doesn't sting and makes you want to come back to try for one more.
He didn't win a cup in 08. He wasn't on the Red Wings in 08. Boston won a cup against Vancouver in 2012, 2013 season, I think.
It's 2013 because they won the year that ironically, the year that I had Boston with my job was the year that the Bruins and the Red Sox both won.
Fucking Sox.
So that was 2013. So what, every 5 years the city wins 2 championships? The fuck is that? Can we throw some of that Detroit's way? Please and thank you.
Well, I was thinking, the Blues in their franchise history have never won the cup, have finally won the cup. Chicago Cubs, after 81 years, finally 108 years, something like that.
I know right where this is going.
The World Series. It is time. Is it not time? It should be time.
For who?
The Cleveland
Lions.
Browns. Oh, I thought you were singing the praises of the Browns a couple weeks ago.
That's because the Browns are going to win, but that's beside the point.
I thought you were out. I thought you were done. I thought you washed your hands of the Lions.
I am.
He's Lions free, like everybody that calls in and bitches about the Lions for 5 minutes. Every Monday is Lions free on 97.1 here in Detroit. That's how Lions free he is. Don't be surprised if you're just bored one day scanning through the channels on a Monday, and you come across 97.1 and you hear Earl's voice. And he's just like, I'm Lions free, but I'm going to tell you what, that was a bullshit, blah, 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 blah. And you're going to be like, I know that dude. I do a show with that dude.
Well, I'll tell you what, the calls might be shifting here soon to Tigers free. Yikes, man. Yikes.
You mean the Mud Hens North?
Yeah. Rich and I were talking yesterday, like, this could be Alan Trammell bad.
Yeah, we sat in with Todd on his his non-baseball podcast the other night, and after you had to go, him and I were talking, and I told him what you said, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's going to get bad." He goes, "I don't know if it's going to get 119 losses bad, but it's going to get bad." In fact, Todd said that he doesn't know if he's going to keep up the baseball podcast because he goes, "Who the fuck wants to listen to me talk about the Tigers?" And I said, "Todd, but you talk about the rest of the league too, and you're the dude is a fucking savant of knowledge when it comes to baseball." And like I would say he could probably easily slip into the ranks of and be considered an amateur baseball historian fairly easily if he wanted to.
He is such a savant of baseball. He knows the full names and birthplaces of everybody that shot at Big Papi.
Probably. I'm not bullshitting when I think
phone numbers to follow.
I think when he goes on his international trips, he goes down to Central and South America to scout guys, like just for his own amusement. Because I know he goes to get to the leagues and watches the professional leagues down there. I've seen the pictures. I've seen his post about it. I mean, dude, that's dedication. You don't see my ass traveling through fucking Canada watching Major Junior and shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially hitchhiking. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he is dedicated. But yes, that Big Papi situation. Okay, so what'd you say? You said you heard that the reason he was shot was why?
It was a hit. He's allegedly fucking big drug dealer's wife down in the Dominican Republic.
And I do know that the article I read said there's 6 men in custody. There's 4 more wanted for questioning. I don't know if they're implying that those 4 were involved or if they were just like witnesses or something. But apparently there's 6 men in custody. And the price that was put on Big Papi's head was $7,800 American, which is 400,000 pesos Dominican.
Yes, because you have to distinguish Dominican. Because if you do it in Mexican, it's like 20 grand.
Yeah,
so the Dominican pesos are apparently different.
So that's $7,800 split up between 6 guys.
Yep, $1,300. Hope it's worth it.
That's how cheap life is in the Dominican Republic. So plan your vacations accordingly,
Well, it's non-related to Big Papi, but there's a thing right now going on in the Dominican Republic. Tourists are getting sick left and right down there. There's some kind of crazy virus going around down there. So maybe hold off on the DR a little bit if you're planning a vacation.
Well, I know that, this is nothing new. This has been going on for probably better than 2 decades now, or close to 2 decades. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, but that, I've known people that have gone on like all-inclusive vacations to Mexico where they're like in a resort area where everything's included, and they go to, hey, we're going to go wander around, and they're like, if you leave this area, we are not responsible for what happens to you.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll let you know, like, there will be motherfuckers. There are people wandering around whose sole job is to find American tourists, kidnap them, and hold them ransom.
Yeah. Stay in the resort, Whitey.
So, just remember next time you're bitching about, you had to sit at the DMV or the Secretary of State for 3 hours to renew your driver's license, that we still have it pretty fucking good here. For all the complaining we do on Unregimented and a few other podcasts about America, ultimately, we really, truly are all privileged. Even the people who want to fucking point fingers at anybody else and say they're privileged and I'm not. No, you are.
We said on Todd's podcast, if you're born in this country, you're born on third base.
Compared to a lot of the rest of the world, absolutely. And I'd probably say it's maybe 10, 15, 20 tops countries that you could also say that about. And there's 212 countries in this, that are established countries on this planet. So that's some rare air shit. You hit the lottery by being born where you were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Big Papi apparently lost part of his gallbladder, part of his liver, and something else. Like he lost a few pieces of organs, but apparently he's all right. He took some steps yesterday. I think it's hilarious. They got him out of the DR. They flew him to Massachusetts.
I was about to say, yeah, they were like, okay, yeah, not that we have anything against your healthcare system, but we're bringing him back to America.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest here. That's just a smart move because that was the Red Sox, the organization.
Mm-hmm.
That's a smart move for them because that's to a whole generation of Sox fans. That's their Ted Williams. That's their Yastrzemski. And if they left him down there and he died due to some fuckery, those Red Sox fans would fucking point their fucking daggers right at the organization and say, after everything he fucking did, after all the money he made you guys couldn't fucking do anything to help him? I mean, imagine if that was Yzerman and the Red Wings just sat back and said, yep, that's a damn shame. I mean, and that's before he's the general manager. I mean, just... You can imagine the vitriol that would be directed their way.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, not a good thing. I mean, I'm glad he's doing all right, but if the rumor is true that he was rubbing another man's rhubarb, hey, buddy, Big Papi, you can get it anywhere you want. Just don't fuck a drug dealer's wife.
Yeah.
If allegedly.
In the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
How about this anywhere? It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Like, these are people who are very comfortable outside of the law. You know what I'm saying? And if they're a big enough drug dealer to have a dime piece, then they're a big enough drug dealer to get some shit done and have someone do some work on your ass. He's right, lucky.
You said anywhere, but in the Dominican Republic, it's not very lawful there.
I'm just saying... He's lucky it's going to come off as fucked up, but it's lucky all he was shot. Because if they really wanted to prove a point, they could have kidnapped him and went to work on him Pulp Fiction style. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not unheard of down there. I mean,
some pipe hitting brothers.
Yeah, they literally, I've seen the videos with the chainsaws, and I've heard the stories, and I've read the articles about them putting people in 55-gallon drums, drilling a hole in the top, filling it full of gasoline up to their neck, and then dropping a match in there. All right? I mean, they don't play. All right? That's one thing you don't do. You don't go down there and fuck around. You just don't, not with people that are hooked up with the cartel. That is not. That's like fucking around with the mafia back in the heyday of the mafia here. You just don't do it. So.
Yeah, ask Tony Montana about that.
Fictional character?
Ask Donnie Brasco, the FBI agent who brought down a couple hundred mafia people of various levels, and the fact that he still has a hit out on his life, and that's from the late 70s, early 80s. Like, he's still in hiding. His entire life had to fucking be reinvented because of that. I mean, I think the only reason that Henry Hill, the guy from the Goodfellas book and movie, was able to walk around like he was is because he kept himself so much in the public face that it was like, well, if we do anything to him, it's obvious we did it. They know, it's kind of like, if something happens to me, we know who to go looking for type shit. Think about it this way. When a woman turns up missing who's married, who's the first person they start fucking sweating?
The husband.
There you go. So if the mob has a fucking contract out on you and you disappear in a thick mob area in New York or New Jersey, they're going to be knocking down some doors, you know what I'm saying, of the usual suspects. The FBI knows who's who and where they're at. Don't fool yourself. But, yeah, it's a fucked up story, though, man.
He's in stable condition, but he's still in the ICU.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was a joke when I first saw the first article because it wasn't from a like an ESPN or anything. And then I started doing some research and some digging, and it's like, oh shit, this is real. Because that sounds like some movie shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
Shot him in the back, came out of his belly.
Yeah, in the back, in a crowded club at 3 a.m. I mean, that is bold.
Yes, it is.
I mean, that is someone who gives no fucks.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if you'd get me to slap one of my friends for $1,300. Depends on which one, you know. I got a couple. I might be able to be like, look here, man. I'll throw you like 200. I won't hit you hard. Yeah, okay. That's an 8-ball tonight. Yeah, I know. That's why I picked you. Come here. There you go. You should 200.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net.
Hey, everyone! Vinny the Frog here, down at Aquazone and the Sport Island campus in Blanchardstown. Come and enjoy tropical wild water fun. Aquazone is open daily this summer, just minutes from Junction 6 on the M50. Book now at aquazone.ie.
Everyone shouts about how fast their broadband is.
We're fast, mega fast, stupid fast, almost too fast.
But what do they say about reliability? Well, Dublin, with Virgin Media, you get both. Ireland's fastest broadband network and 99.9% network reliability. Reliability at speed. See virginmedia.ie.
Terms and conditions apply. Ireland's fastest broadband network as awarded by Ookla. Network reliability. See virginmedia.ie/proof.
There's no need to describe in detail every inch of the new Range Rover Evoque. With its unmistakable coupe-like silhouette, you'll recognise that quiet refinement when you see it. And with a new mild hybrid electric engine and intuitive technology, you have a car that handles superbly, both on-road and off. So if you're looking for a compact SUV that takes city driving above and beyond, look no further. New Range Rover Evoque from €42,845. Book your test drive today at Conlon's Land Rover Nace. Delivery and related charges apply.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
All right.
Well, John Beeline hired a woman to be an assistant coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Is anyone shocked? And I'm not saying that like to try to dismiss it. There's 2 NFL teams with female assistant coaches now. I mean, I think it's slowly becoming a thing that's like, it's in 10 years it's not going to be that strange to see. It won't be, let's put it this way, it won't be that big of a deal to make a note of.
That's a fair point.
I mean, let me ask you a question, okay? If you are on a shit NBA team and they hire a college coach, and Pat Summitt, is she the one that died? She had
yes.
Alzheimer's? Let's say she was still alive, okay? And he brought her in as you know, his number one. Are you going to sit there if you're on a shit team that hasn't won anything and go, I'm not going to listen to her? Ultimately, she's just teaching you X's and O's and strategy. You know what I'm saying?
Pat Summitt, my question would be like, why isn't she the head coach?
Yeah.
she's won more than he has.
Unless the person you hired is Coach K, and then Pat Summitt's his number one. At that point, you have head coach 1A and 1B. You know what I'm saying? Like, you essentially have 2 head coaches. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting woke. I don't know, but I don't think it's that strange.
I guess I have an easier time with female coaches and female announcers. It just, I don't know. To me, female announcers, it's a whole different conversation. But it's, I don't know. I forgot the point I was going to make. So fuck it.
I have a bigger problem with the hypocrisy of female sports reporters in the locker rooms, because there's no way that's going to fly the other way around.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can't sit here and screech in my face like a fucking magpie who just got butt fucked by John Holmes about how you are equal to men in every single way, but oh my God, if a male reporter sees you naked, you have to Me Too him and ruin his fucking career. Yet these women can walk around while these fucking 7 foot tall guys let their mandingo junk swing around fucking air drying in front of them. All right.
Hey, you just jogged my memory about the point I was going to make. It just makes me wonder if the current climate we're in, if this is more of a PR hire.
If it is, that's a damn shame.
Because she's from the University of Berkeley. I'm not really up on women's basketball, but are they really a women's college basketball powerhouse?
Not that I know of.
I mean, we know it's where they had the dumpster fight.
The War of Berkeley with dumpsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you. It doesn't ring any bells as, a women's college basketball powerhouse. You're not talking about UConn or some shit or whatever the fuck. And if they did do it as a PR move, and then aren't we beyond that? Shouldn't we be beyond that? Shouldn't it be like, okay, I understand you saying no, but what I'm saying is ultimately this is professional basketball. I'm not trying to fucking win brownie points. I'm trying to make money if I'm the owner. And if my general manager hires a head coach who's going to bring in shit people just because he thinks he's going to get some, woke points, and they stink to join up, I'm firing every fucking buddy from the top down. You know what I'm saying? You better bring in the best people. I don't give a fuck. There's 72 genders supposedly. Fine. Find the 73rd gender as long as they can win. I don't give a fuck. If I'm paying you, it's not time to make a point to be, to try to win some social justice points. That's how I look at it. But who knows, man? I mean, he is coaching Cleveland, and it's not like Cleveland's got a whole lot in the fucking going for him at this point.
It just, to me, this seems like it could be a virtue signaling move. Hey, we're so woke. We have a female assistant coach. Look it up, and then, yeah, like you said, it gets the attention on him because there ain't shit going on there otherwise. Ever since Brown went to L.A.
Well, I mean, like I said, in this day and age, it's very hard to keep a secret. And if this assistant coach is literally just there to win brownie points with a certain small group of people, like the Twitter sphere or whatever, and she sucks, I'm pretty sure we'll hear about it before too long. Of course, then there'll be anyone who, says, well, sources say she sucks. Well, you're a misogynist for reporting that. Okay, whatever.
Oh, well, one more thing we could get into here. Since you brought that up, God, I can't believe I'm about to bring up the Women's World Cup. But the USA team beat on Thailand yesterday, like 13-0. And we're getting some shit
bad
about running up the score. And today I'm reading articles about, well, even women can't win the right way without getting shit. And the first thing I thought was like, welcome to the even playing field. You want to be treated like men? This is what happens. If that was a male team, they would have gotten the same article written about them.
Yeah, all you got to do is look at college football, look at pro football, and, Belichick's accused of running up the score. Jimmy Johnson, the U was known for running up the score if they could. I mean, and on top of that, if I understand correctly, goal differential does play a role in moving on to the next round. So what is the point of getting a 5-goal lead and then fucking calling the dogs off? If you can get a higher seed and have an easier trip through the tournament, why wouldn't you do that by just running the score up? If they can't stop you, that's not your problem. That's their problem. I mean, how many times have we said it? You don't like me celebrating in your end zone? Don't let me get in your end zone.
Yeah.
What the fuck were they supposed to do? Sit there and do soccer ball tricks?
Exactly. It's just like they said in the U 30 for 30. What are we supposed to do? Get up 20 points, 21 points, take a knee for 3 downs and punt? Fuck that.
You play to win the game.
And Jimmy Johnson said, hey, look, once we got a 21-point lead, I put my backups in. My backups were hungry and fresh. I can't help they went out there and destroyed their fucking their starters. Maybe they should recruit better, I mean, you can accuse me of hypocrisy on some things you can't. Yeah, I don't think you're going to find it on this one. I have no sympathy for any team that gets the shit ran up on them like that and want to cry about it. And whoever wrote the article saying women can't even win right, okay, whoever it is can suck my dick, okay? I don't give a fuck. Shut the fuck up. And I want to know how really involved in sports is the person who wrote that article?
It's an opinion piece from CNN, so make your own conclusions.
Okay, well.
But then the article got into, once again, I'll let you guys guess what the next area of the article got into.
Because I've seen the comment sections of every fucking story about this. This is why they should get paid as much or more than the men. Do they draw as much or more than the men?
No, there was four, from what I heard, there was 4 people in the stands for that game. Or not for that game, it was Nigeria versus Sweden. 4 people. I heard a good quote today about this whole situation. It's not about sexism, it's about capitalism. We say this every fucking time. It's about the revenue that's going to be generated. That's what their salaries are based on.
Yeah, but Chris, patriarchy is part of capitalism.
Oh, that's too. Another thing is it's institutional sexism because the women's sports don't get pushed. So it's institutional now.
The women's sports don't get pushed. They have ESPN W. Do you know what the W stands for? Not ESPN West Coast. Okay, it's ESPN's women's channel. So,
and I think we've asked this question a million times. Where's all the women at these sporting events?
And wait a minute. So does that mean that NHL fans get to cry that their sport doesn't get pushed?
Because patriarchy. That'd be the answer. No, they're so males. They're so many. No, didn't we? Didn't we do this a couple years ago? They're still getting paid more than the females with that whole shit with the Olympics. I mean, it's a never-ending battle cry, and again, it's revenue-based, people. All right, and where are all the women at these sporting? Why aren't all of the WNBA games sold out and the stands full of women? Why is the WNBA operated at a loss for the last decade? It's essentially a charity league run by the NBA.
All good questions.
But, patriarchy, institutional sexism. Okie dokie.
I swear to God, I'm just gonna write a song. It's called "Subjugate Them Hoes." And the chorus is gonna be disrespecting women, subjugate them hoes, disrespect them women. just give them what they want. Just give them the battle cry that they would be like, "This is what's wrong with everything."
Yeah. Here's what we discuss at the meeting, ladies, that we all go to every week to discuss how we're going to keep you oppressed.
And I mean, I'm not even bullshitting, man. I guarantee you half these people that are so upset don't even know that there was a female goaltender in the NHL, and they can't tell me that her name, let alone the team she played for or the situation she played in. But I can tell them all that. And yet I'm a dirty, filthy misogynist. Yeah, it's funny. And you're a champion for these players, and yet you don't know that, but I do. Maybe you need to check yourself. But, whatever. What do I know? I have a penis. I don't know anything.
You're a penis, you're white, and you're over 40. You are what's wrong with America.
I am the trifecta of irrelevant.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's move on to a sport that people actually do pay attention to, which would be the NBA. And there's really only one thing to begin talking about, and that is what the fuck is Kevin Durant going to do? Because the ball is, no pun intended, completely in his court.
Oh, not anymore.
Yeah, absolutely is.
He's going to be a warrior.
Not anymore.
Listen to me, Earl. He has a player option that he can exercise for next year for $31 million. Regardless of being injured, they'll have to pay him.
No, I got you.
His expected rehab time is a year.
Uh-huh.
Okay? You wish you could have a job where you could hurt yourself, get paid to sit on your ass and rehab yourself and make $31 million.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing they can do to fire you. There's nothing they can do to not pay you. So how is the ball not in his court at this point?
Because they could trade him.
Yep. because he got hurt.
Yep.
Okay. Now, how many times have we seen trades get nixed by the NBA and the Players Association? Because, no, that's not a fair trade. That happens in the NBA more than almost any other sport, more than any other sport that I know of.
Good point.
They try to backdoor fuck him like that. The Players Association is going to come out and lose their fucking mind.
Did you guys see that the New York Post had a headline that said the New York Knicks lose Game 5?
The Knicks, wow, they're in a bad spot. We'll get to that in a second. But, no, seriously, is this even a no-brainer on Durant's part? Just exercise the player option, get paid to rehab. Even if they do trade you, okay, cool. You weren't coming back anyways, unless it was late in the season for the playoff push and the playoffs. So if they trade you to some shit team, your contract's up at the end of the year. Now you just sit out and make extra double sure you're fucking healthy before you come back. And then you hit the free agent market. Now the only question is there going to be a GM out there who's going to give him a max contract after sitting out for a year and rehabbing an injury that,
an Achilles? No.
Let's be honest, that's,
And when it comes down to it, Rich, that's what I'm talking about. When he ruptured his Achilles, a lot of teams went, wait a minute. Because you truly, you cannot 100 come back from an Achilles injury. And if you do, you take so much time off that it takes forever for you to get back in full game shape.
Yeah, and let's be honest, too, he's 30. While in other sports, 30's not that old. In basketball, 30's old.
Well, I'm not going to front and act like I know enough about his game, like particularly, like the game he plays on the court. But if he is a good shooter that doesn't need to drive the basket, can he just fucking change his game to where he doesn't have to drive to the basket and just fucking take shots and drain shots from the field all day?
But you still got to be able to run up and down the court.
And you still have to be able to defend. Kevin Durant's motif is that he's a hell of an offensive player. He's a great two-way player. Okay. Yeah, he could drive the basket. Yeah, he could sit on the perimeter and shoot threes. But he also gets back down the floor and defends and blocks shots and takeaways and, doesn't let the other people drive to the basket. That was his appeal. That's who he is.
Well, then if that's the case, then I'd say probably his bet in his mind, his worst case scenario, but in reality, his best case scenario will be he'll exercise his option. Golden State's going to do what Golden State's going to do, whether they trade him or not. Whatever. All right. I don't know why any team would give him anything for him. I really don't.
If you're him at this point, you have to probably come to terms with reality that your salad days ended the other night.
But I mean, here's the thing: if he sits out the season, Golden State pays him, and then his contract's up, and he hits the free agent market. I think his best case scenario is that some shit team's going to offer him a max contract, and he's going to be the big fish in a small pond. And if he doesn't care about winning any more championships, he just cares about, hey, I've got my fucking ring, now I want to make my bling, then he's going to be fucking sitting pretty. And he can just be that hey, let's go see what's left of Kevin Durant play for who the fuck ever. Some shit team. The Detroit Pistons.
He is definitely another Blake Griffin.
I was about to say, yeah, him and the ghost of Blake Griffin. I mean, dude, seriously, I don't think his career is over. I don't think he'll never play basketball again unless this surgery unless things are a lot worse than what's being reported right now. Which absolutely could be the situation.
I don't think his career is over. I think his best days are behind him.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Rupturing an Achilles at 30. I mean, how many football players have we seen like that's it, you're done?
Yeah, and someone did call into the local sports show and go, Adrian Peterson came back from that. And then they had to point out, no, Adrian Peterson came back from an ACL injury. Right. And in the last 5 to 10 years, they've gotten leaps and bounds better at fixing that and extending players' careers. Whereas an Achilles is, yes, for the most part, they were like, we can't even think of someone who came back from a completely torn Achilles. If he just ruptured it, it's a partial tear, maybe. I mean, but here's the thing: if you're Kevin Garnett, Kevin Garnett? If you're Kevin Durant, what are you thinking about? You just want
he has 2 rings, so he needs. You guys are right. He needs money.
And if that's his outlook on it, then give me a max contract and I'll go play for fucking some shit team somewhere. Where's the Wizards at? Send me to DC.
No, absolutely. And it changed the whole scope of everything I've been talking about the past few weeks on the show.
Yeah, free agency is a whole different ballgame now.
Yeah, because everybody wanted Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Everybody.
Well, now Kawhi Leonard's fucking sitting pretty as the number 1 free agent.
Right, but if he completes this beat of Golden State, you would think he'd want to stay with Toronto.
At the end of the day, you're still on Toronto.
I mean,
but at the end of the day, it becomes a destination for all this free agency that's moving around.
Who's Mr. Unibrow down there in New Orleans?
Anthony Davis.
Thank you. Now, the Vegas and the insiders in the NBA are saying it's pretty much a lock he's going to L.A. Now, we'll see if that really comes to pass, but...
He's not going to L.A. Nobody wants to go to L.A.
It doesn't matter. If he's traded to L.A.
He's not going to be traded to L.A.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, Vegas and insiders in the NBA are saying different. I'm just passing on information. So let me finish. Let me finish, and then you can
ice it.
You can contradict me all you want afterwards. All right. If that's the case, then I mean, with the Knicks, it was pretty much Kevin Durant saves all because they lost out on the Zion lottery by getting the 3rd pick. They've moved a lot of players. They have cap room. Well, now if Durant is a big question mark and he does take the player option for next season, why would they give up anything of value to get him there when they can't lock him down for a contract and they don't know what they're getting if they do lock him down for a long-term contract? Why wouldn't they fucking put everything into getting Kawhi Leonard to come out there and play for the Knicks? Especially if he wins the championship, you think, oh, look, you got a championship. Now you can play for the Knicks in the mecca of basketball, New York City.
That's what I'm telling you. That's why Anthony Davis isn't going to L.A. The West Coast right now is not the destination. If you're going to the West Coast, you're going to the Warriors. But the East Coast is where the destination's at. You're going to go to the Knicks or you're going to the Philadelphia 76ers.
How are the Knicks a destination?
Because they got the most room. They can make the most moves.
The Knicks are a destination in basketball, like how the Canadians are a destination to certain players who grew up in certain areas of Canada, or the Leafs are. Yes, they haven't won anything. Well, Canadians since '93, the Leafs since the '60s, but they're storied franchises. And believe me, there's a certain type of player who their ego gets rock hard. We're talking blue vein diamond cutter hard at the thought of being the player that comes and turns around those franchises and returns them to their glory days.
I guess, but the Knicks have been, for the last 20 years, the Knicks have been one of the worst franchises in sports. Fuck basketball. I guess, do you think you're going to be the savior of the Knicks? Good luck, man. Because there's been about a dozen of those people in the last 20 years. Wasn't Melo going to save him? Wasn't Porzingis going to save him?
Porzingis damn near did save him. Then they traded his dumb ass because he got hurt. Look at you, KD.
But look at it this way, man. Think about the Yankees in the 80s and up until the mid-90s. They fell off, man. They went from, the Bronx Bombers, and Thurman Munson, Reggie Jackson, Catfish Hunter, all them guys, Billy Martin, the drama that was Billy Martin, George Steinbrenner, to just Don Mattingly and who the fuck else in the 80s and early 90s? Like, seriously. And then all of a sudden, boom,
Dave Winfield? I think that's the only name I can come up with.
Yeah. They make some shrewd draft moves. They stockpile their minor league. They bring some players up, and in 96, they go on a fucking 4-year tear.
Well, just to keep it NBA, look at the Bad Boys. 89, 90, you're just like, what? I can name those guys all day. And then afterwards, you're going, who? Grant Hill?
Grant Hill and
well, you got to bring up the Teal era.
Mateen Cleaves and
what was left of Joe Dumars.
Right. And and then boom, 2000, nobody's ever heard of the Go to Work Pistons. The only people they heard was the Jerkmen of Chauncey.
They didn't show up to like 2004.
I would say the Go to Work Pistons got their persona when they traded for Rasheed.
Rasheed Wallace, you're damn right.
It's ironic because here in Detroit, we knew Rip, Tayshaun, Big Ben, Chauncey. You know what I'm saying? We knew them guys. But on the national scene, when they traded for Rasheed, it was like, okay, this is high risk, high reward because Rasheed Wallace has always been a wild card. And he came here, and remember, he came here in that season they won the championship. There was no guarantee he was going to stay after that season. And he did. And that's when they went on that tear of 6 Eastern Conference Finals and 2 NBA Finals appearances in a row.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
But Detroit Pistons isn't quote unquote a destination. It was in the late 80s, early 90s, and then it died. And then, like I said, in 2000, again, not a destination, but those folks got there all at once, and then boom. So when you ask me, why is the Knicks a destination? For that reason. Just like Rich said, it's a historic franchise. It's one of those things.
You just compared them to a team that won 3 titles in the last 30 years.
Yeah, but you have to remember.
Have the Knicks even been to the NBA Finals in our lifetime?
Yeah.
The finals, not the playoffs, the finals.
Patrick Ewing went to the finals, didn't he?
All right. Hold on.
Yep.
Google. They have 2 championships, 70 and 73.
That's not in our lifetime.
They have 8 conference titles, 51, 52, 53, 70, 72, 73, 94, 99.
There we go.
They have 5 division titles, 71, 89, 93, 94, 2013.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, they went to the finals in 99, which was, by the way, the shortened season. Just putting it out there.
But I will say this, though. Don't sell the Pistons short, because the Pistons ran up against Larry Bird's Celtics in 87. Then they went to the finals in 88 and lost to the Showtime Lakers. Then they come back and beat the Showtime Lakers in 89. Then they beat the Trailblazers in 90.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a pretty good 4-year run, even though they didn't win the championship the first 2 years. They lost to 2 of the best teams ever assembled ever in the NBA.
And by the way, those 2 years in the Eastern Conference Finals, they beat a little team called the Chicago Bulls.
Yes. Made the NBA create the Jordan rule.
But made us the bad boys at the same time.
Yeah.
Sporty. ChristopherMedia.net.
Our business needs vans, lots of vans, and Europcar meets our day-to-day needs all across the country, providing our company with the ideal selection of small, medium, or large vans and trucks, and even bespoke commercial vehicles delivered directly to our premises.
From our 22 nationwide locations, Europcar supplies Irish businesses with an unrivaled range of vans, 4x4 pickups, 4-seater commercial SUVs, and double cab tippers. With 9,000 vehicles in our fleet, there's no demand we can't fulfill. Europcar, moving your way.
SuperValue online shopping delivers convenience. And now with €15 off your first online shop over €75, we deliver value too. Or with our free click and collect service, you can pick it up in store, packed and ready to go. Shop online now at supervalue.ie. It's got to be SuperValue. SuperValue online shopping delivers convenience. And now with €15 off your first online shop over €75, we deliver value too. Or with our free click and collect service, you can pick it up in store, packed and ready to go. Shop online now at supervalue.ie. It's got to be SuperValue.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporty.
We're on the Kevin Durant injury. Did either of you guys see the press conference with the GM?
No.
No.
Oh my God. He cried the whole time. I've said every time I've listened to it twice. At both times, I'm like yelling at my phone, like, stop crying! You're a full-grown man.
There's no crying.
You are
There's
the
no
general
crying in
manager
basketball
of a professional sports team. People get injured all the fucking time. What are you crying about? And he tried to take the blame, which I think is a total PR move. He's, if you want to blame anyone, you can blame me. Like, no, Kevin Durant he's a grown-ass man. Sure, if he didn't feel like playing, he would have told someone, I'm not fucking playing. He was crying.
What's the problem? He's crying, sir.
He was crying because Kevin Durant got injured.
Thank you, Tom Hanks.
Soft. Like we've crossed a new level of softness.
Well,
here
I've never. I just want to say this. I don't think I've ever seen anyone cry outside of Dick Vermeil. Dick Vermeil would cry at the drop of a hat.
Yeah,
yeah.
He cried. These guys,
these players,
players. You know, like he. I think if he took a piss and he farted while he pissed, it scared him and he cried. You know, I mean, like. So, outside of Dick Vermeil, I don't think I've seen players or coaches cry unless they've lost a championship.
Yeah.
Kind of like happened with Marshawn tonight. Won a championship or someone's retiring.
Yeah.
So
that's it. If you're in sports, those are the only 3 times you can cry.
Or you're watching Brian's song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You watch Brian's song, you're a crying motherfucker.
And if you cry during Rudy, you lose your man card. That's all there is to it. That shit did not happen. He did not get a sack. So, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't think I've ever seen a suit cry before. I was just like, wow, you stop it. You're the GM of a professional sports franchise. Act like it.
Well, and here's the thing. They act like Kevin Durant is the end-all, be-all of the Warriors. The Warriors were the Warriors before him. They continue to be the Warriors after him. If anything, he's holding a spot of, another starter that they need.
They got to the playoffs without him. He's been out the entire playoffs.
Well, I will say this. I'm not buying into this, but I will say this. There's a conspiracy theory going around that was brought up multiple times over the last few days on local sports talk radio that Durant purposely was holding back until the Warriors' backs were against the wall to come back. Because if he came back and he turned the series around and they won the championship after he came back, after being down like they were, then he would be the savior of the franchise. He would be basically their Jesus.
Oh, dear God, no. Not even close.
I'm just passing on information, man. I don't know enough about the man. I brought this up with Chris the other night, and Chris was like, maybe because he tends to act a little fucking weird off the court. Like, I didn't know this. He's been caught pumping up his own Twitter account with burner accounts. Like, I'm sorry, what? You're a professional athlete, dude. You really got to start burner accounts to pump up your own Twitter account? Like, if that's a fact, then maybe he is a little strange and a little, different in the head and thinks a little differently about some of this shit.
Well, and the point I made is does it seem is it probable? Probably not, but it seems plausible simply because he did chase a ring. So the mindset exists in his brain for this, but I mean but the other part of me is to just purposely kind of torpedo your own team. That's true. That's fucked up.
Or let them get to the brink of elimination and risk losing the championship just so you can come back at an opportune time and go.
Basically, feed your ego.
Yeah, So, like I said, just passing along information, gentlemen. I don't know anything about the man or basketball and his mindset enough to, you know what I'm saying? To say if that's accurate or not.
He left OKC because he couldn't be with Russell Westbrook any longer. He tried it for 10 years, couldn't get anywhere. He joined a championship winning team and got a couple of rings with them. It was a no-brainer that they were going to win with him. But they won without him, and they will win without him again. Is it going to be this year? I don't know.
I think it will be.
Well, it's like I told you last week, Chris. This scares me because the only time that in the past 5 years that the Warriors didn't win was when Cleveland beat them because people were hurt, people were suspended. The Warriors weren't there. Well, this is and I told you, it's the exact same thing this season. Clay's hurt. Kevin Durant's hurt. Looney's hurt. Iguodala's hurt.
The Looney's is hurt? What about Shock G?
So,
and if you get that reference, you like your old school hip hop. Just saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be tough, but they could do it.
I just think it's two. Quite honestly, these are the two best teams. If you look at the regular season records, one game separated them. But just when you say the name Toronto Raptors, one name comes to mind, Kawhi Leonard. You say the name Golden State Warriors, a whole list comes to mind. I just think Golden State is a better complete team. And I think they'll get it done.
I'm in high hopes that we have a Game 7.
Oh, they got to play Game 6 at home. They're winning that one.
Well, they've 0-2 at home in these finals, dude.
Well, there you go. The odds are on them to win a game at home.
Sure.
We have the Drake curse to break. I mean, there's a whole thing.
I'm just sitting here like, I think it's the most we've talked about basketball and the most engaged I've been while talking about basketball since I've started this fucking podcast with Chris.
Chris is all proud of himself and shit.
Oh, wait. Oh, is Drake, he's rooting for the Raptors?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, done deal. Golden State's going to win.
Oh, God.
Well, I think we covered the big beats of the last week in sports. Did we miss anything huge, gentlemen?
Apparently, hold on. God damn it. I got to find this. This was just something interesting about the Blues winning the Cup. And, of course, it's now going to be... Hold on. Oh, by the way, I forgot. Craig Berube. That's the Blues head coach. Earlier, I was like, yeah, their head coach tried to cover up the fact I couldn't remember fucking Berube's name. And I don't know why, because he was a beast when he played. I should, of course, remembered his name. Anyways. So, a St. Louis Blues fan won $100,000. Scott Berry placed a $400 wager on the Blues to win the Stanley Cup at 250-1 odds back in January. After refusing to hedge his bet, Berry won $100K tonight, thanks to the Blues' Game 7 victory. That's the shit. That's like urban legend. Dude, I was in Vegas. If I'd have put like $10 on the Tigers going to the World Series in 2006, I could retire right now. Like. How many times have we heard some shit?
Yeah, but you didn't.
Yeah, this dude actually did. So, more power to him.
And everywhere, and while that one sports book is pissed, all sports books are happy because it gives everybody hope.
Oh, and we don't have to go on very long about it, but we do have to mention this. The Oakland Raiders are on Hard Knocks this year.
Hard Knocks, baby.
Which means John Gruden is on Hard Knocks this year, which means this is going to be the best Hard Knocks to watch a head coach since Rex Ryan in 2010 with the Jets. I'm going to have to watch every Hard Knocks episode after 10 o'clock at night. That way I can get the uncut fucking, uncensored shit, because that they're going to be beeping the hell out of fucking Gruden. Because, man, he had some good one. Who was he talking to? Keenan McCardell. And it was a practice with the Bucks. And he goes, Keenan, what the fuck are you doing to me? Are you serious? You're like my wife. You get in space and you don't know what the fuck to do with yourself. I mean, just... just some funny shit would come out of his mouth, and he's just like, now I'm not a very fucking patient guy. If you're not gonna watch the fucking film, I'm just gonna fucking bench your ass. You understand me? I don't give a fuck if your name says Johnson on the back of the jersey. I'm one of 50 people's 50 most beautiful people. So I'm sure that the 5 weeks that Hard Knocks is on, we're gonna at least have one episode where we're gonna have some good shit to talk about with train wreck that is John Gruden out there in Oakland. So
we get an over/under on how many times he'll use the phrase "turkey hole."
Oh, per episode?
Just in general.
Over. It's got to be at least double digits. Let's set it at 10.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
Does this mean quarterback camp's over?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. What? You mean you don't want to have Booger McFarland's like lineman camp? You don't want to watch that?
with guest star Tony Saragusa?
Saragusa gets wheeled in on his fucking hover round because he lost a leg to diabetes.
Oxygen tank in tow.
Diabetes calling the other leg like hard as a motherfucker too, just like
diabetes.
Just stuff in his face. So how's your swim move? That's horrible. Sorry, Goose. That's not right. Sorry.
I still love you, Sari.
He knows he's fat. He's got a
can of corn. Can of corn, all I need. Can of corn.
Yeah, can of corn, I'll be fine.
And if y'all out there don't get that reference, kiss my ass.
Yeah. All right.
Just so you know, Alex Morgan said about the 13-0 victory, these are goals we've dreamt our whole lives about. She's a player on the Women's World Cup.
Oh, I know who Alex Morgan is.
Okay.
Believe that. Yeah.
You have a penis.
I wasn't gonna have. I was trying to stay a little classy, but yes, I mean, I would like. If you're listening, Alex, if you send me your underwear or your panties, I'll make soup out of them. I swear to God. Just to let you know.
And make it that time of the month.
That's just spicy soup. That's like sriracha in my soup.
Yeah, she is definitely not hard on the eyes.
And you know what? All bullshit aside, all jokes aside, the U.S. women's soccer team are fucking some beast out there, man.
Oh, they are. They have been ever since Mia Hamm.
I mean, it's going what since 98 was the Brandy Chastain goal, and they've just been at the top of the.
No, that was after. That was in the 2000s.
Oh, Mia Hamm was like 92, right?
Right. Mia Hamm was all the way through the 90s.
Okay. So we're talking 25 plus years going strong. So, hey, look, just because they don't get the butts in the seats doesn't mean they don't deserve the butts in the seats.
That's true too.
And believe me, I've said this multiple times on this show. If they outdraw the men, then they should get paid more than the men. And if that's the reality and they're not getting paid more than the men, then you know what? Let them go on fucking strike. Let them start costing the U.S. national women's team some money. And I guarantee you they'll start coughing it up. Because they rather pay them and still make money than not make anything.
I agree.
So.
I mean, We give Hope Solo all the garbage because of her photos and everything, but she was a bad fucking goalie.
You like taking pictures of her butthole.
I'm just saying, these women can play.
And she's married to Jeremy Stevens, former tight end for the Seahawks. And so that must mean that he really likes that area on a woman's body. I'm just saying, like, I don't think I'm sending pictures of my booty hole to anybody unless it's a request. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing that out there. So,
yeah. So, Rich, how about no.
All right, it's getting weird. Time to end the show. So this is where I'll just remind you that, hey, if you found us because of Spreaker.com and you like us, tell someone. All right, or if you found us anywhere, just tell somebody. If you like the show, tell someone and share it. That's how this thing grows. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, which Spotify listeners, hello. A lot more in the last couple months. Don't know what happened, but I'm not complaining. Check us out. We'll have a show next week, and then I believe after next week, we kind of go in a more sporadic schedule because, yeah, baseball and tennis for a couple months. But
and NASCAR.
Yeah. But other than that, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
Peace out, y'all.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Be confident in the next car you buy. At Done Deal, you can find cars from over 1,000 trusted dealerships nationwide. Now you can search for cars with warranties and monthly finance options to meet your budget. Done Deal, Ireland's largest car showroom in the palm of your hand.
Sometimes you've just got to get some quality me time. Like right now, when you get away for a few hours to Kildare Village, because we've got hundreds of new arrivals, including new boutiques like Sandro and Maj. Escape to Kildare Village and get front row ready for a new season with a new look and a new smile on your face. A little me time goes a long way at Kildare Village, where there's something extraordinary every day.
ChristopherMedia.net.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Hey, this is TV personality Eric Bowling with
NFL Hall of Famer Brett Favre.
Get out. The NFL Hall of Famer Brett Favre?
Yeah, it depends on if you want money or not, or if I owe you.
Well, okay, I'll take it. We're coming together for a new weekly podcast called Bowling with Favre. From sports to politics to finance, culture, nothing is off limits.
Sounds like a little bit of everything. Subscribe now on the Podcast One app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, livebylive.com, and everywhere you get your favorite podcasts.
See you then.
At LL Flooring, we have endless waterproof options that can stand up to the most chaotic of households. All in stock, ready for you to browse. So, when your kids ask if they can get another puppy and swear they'll clean up after it, the floor is not an issue. You'll just have to find another excuse. These are the floors homes are built on. Lumber Liquidators is now LL Flooring. Pick a beautiful floor. We'll arrange safe installation. Visit llflooring.com.